This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Hey beautiful people, I'm Lucy and today we're talking all about camera calibration in Lightroom, what it is, how it works, and how you can be using it in your edits. Now, I find a bunch of people don't use the camera calibration panel at all because it's just really easy to miss and forget about. It's kind of hidden, it's like the last panel in Lightroom. So it's just something you don't really think about. And then if you've already done your whole edits and then you get down to that final panel there, you kind of have missed the opportunity to use it. Because the camera calibration panel is really something that should be used right at the beginning of your edit, because this informs all the colors in your image. So you want to start there so you can kind of create that look that you want and then do all your other edits. So let's jump into Lightroom. All right, so we're here in Lightroom and you can find the camera calibration panel at the very bottom of all of the other panels just right here. So I'm going to click that arrow to open it up. Once I've actually opened the panel, we can see that we can adjust the tint of shadows, and then we can adjust the hue and saturation of the red, green, and blue primary, so the RGB colors. Now, the big thing with camera calibration that you have to keep in mind is that anything you edit in here is going to affect every single pixel of your image, because every single pixel is made up of red, green, and blue values. So if I go over here on the red, that red, it's not just a red pixel. As you can see in the histogram, it has 75 red, 34 green, and 13 blue. Those are the ratios that make up that specific red. If I go over to the blue, you can see the ratios here. It is made up of 40 red, 18 green, and 93 blue. So when you see a color on your screen, that pixel is made up of 3 different colors and the value of those colors. So red isn't just red, it's the value of all the colors that make up that red. So once you really understand that, you're going to start to understand how this camera calibration panel really works, in that it is affecting your whole image. So if I went into the red primary and I'm going to adjust the saturation, if I took that down, you would think it would just affect the red, but look what it actually does. It affects the saturation of the entire image, and that's because this green has some red in it, the blue has some red in it, all the colors have a red value. So when I change this, it doesn't just affect the red colors. None of these just affect their one color. They affect every pixel of the image. I know I've said that a couple times, but it's really important to grasp. If I went into the HSL panel, and I'm just bringing this up because people often ask me what the difference between these two is, and I have a video on the HSL panel that you can check out, but I just want to show you. If I go to the red here and I bring down the saturation, it only affects the red colors, right? It's not affecting anything else. So HSL is very targeted to the specific colors that you're working with, whereas camera calibration is going to affect everything. So let's take a look at camera calibration in action on an actual photo. Now, where camera calibration comes from is that all cameras sort of see and render colors slightly differently. So Sony, Canon, Fuji, they're all gonna have slightly different idea of what a true red is, or a true blue, or a true green. So sometimes that can affect what you actually see in your image, and you might just sort of want that to be slightly different. So you can use this tool to just slightly tweak the colors to be how you want them to be, or you could make some pretty bold color choices. What I'm gonna show you right now is some things that I really love to do on especially landscape photos that I think are a great way to start your editing process and just kind of liven up your photo. Now, one of the things I really like to do is the blue color really works well in every pixel. So I usually bring up that saturation on the blue, and you can see how that's gonna affect the image. It just brought like some life to it, right? So that's the raw image, and then we just bring that saturation up, and already all of those colors kind of became a bit more vivid. Now, some people are really into that teal look, so they might try to do that here in the blue primary, which you can totally do if you like that look. I don't usually do this because, as we said, it affects all the pixels. And as you can see, let's just zoom in here. When I bring the blue primary into that more teal aqua, look at the effect on the tree there. So this is sort of like a yellowy color, and by changing the hue of that, I'm turning it red. This is sort of where that teal orange thing comes from. So if that's a look that you vibe with, then this might be a really great starting point for you to create your images. I just don't really like that orange happening there, so I would just maybe bring that down slightly. The other thing that I do a lot with landscapes is I adjust the greens. I often feel that the green colors in my photos sometimes come across a bit more yellowy, a bit more limey than I want them to, and I just kind of want them to really work with the tone of the image. So what I end up doing is I usually bring the greens a bit more over into this blue zone, so you can see how that affects it there. And depending on the mood, you can either bring up the saturation on it or bring the saturation down. If you have a lot of green, sometimes I'll bring the saturation down. On this image, I actually could bring it up slightly and it would kind of give a nice look to the image. Now, the red primary is something that I think is great for working with skin tones, and I also think it's awesome for really warm sunset photos. You can use this really well to your advantage. In this image, working with the red primary isn't really gonna do me anything. I can make everything look kind of pink or make it look more of a yellowy orange, which is not at all what I want. So I'm not going to play with it at all in this one. So let's just take a look at the before and after. So this is only working with the camera calibration panel. And like I said, this is the first thing you edit with. You're just kind of tweaking the colors where you want them to be before you go and do everything else. So just with those two things, we kind of made the image more vivid and we worked a bit with the greens to get them where we want them to be. So that's just an example of how you could start using the camera calibration panel to liven up those colors in your edits. Let's take a look at it in another photo to see how maybe you could do some more interesting things with color in your photos. And I think that this is a good way to sort of start creating a vibe for your images. This is a great place to do it and just sort of experiment and have fun. Now, this one also is a good example of showing you how when I change the blue primary, maybe I do think this image is an image that should be maybe a bit more of that teal carefree blue. If I do that, you can kind of see how it's affecting everything as we have talked about already, right? So not a lot's happening with the door and then a ton with the sky and then everything else is becoming like a little bit reddish, right? So just to give you that look there. And then if we go into HSL and I wanted to just edit that sky, I could go into the blue and just do that there. So that's a really good way of showing you guys how the difference in a real photo using HSL versus camera calibration. And if you really want to pinpoint a specific color, HSL is honestly where you should be doing that because you can really target things, right? So for instance, maybe in this photo, I actually want the sky to match the color of the door. I could just pull that over slightly and then we kind of have that mix there. And then I could go back to the camera calibration and say, okay, let's bring up the saturation on those blues, or maybe bring it down, right? If you want that kind of airier look, you would bring down that saturation, and now this is a very vibey image. That to me is starting to get a bit too much, but it's like totally subjective, right? It just depends what you're going for, right? So I could bring down that saturation there. If we went and checked out the red primary, maybe I want things that are red to have a bit more of a pinkish tinge and be a bit more stand out. And then the other thing is sometimes if you feel like your image has a bit of a green cast to it, you can always just go in here and bring down that green saturation a bit. If you do it all the way, you can see it affects everything, but just a little bit, and I think it's a good way to just take out any kind of green cast in your image. And this is also where you could go into the shadows and work with that tint slightly. If you felt like your shadows had a bit of a pinkish tinge, you can just air that on the side of the green a little bit or on the red. I feel like down here it is a bit of a reddish tinge, so I would just go a bit to the green and then we take out any kind of color showing up in the shadows. So I just did a few more edits to this image, but if you wanted to make some bold decisions, sure, you could totally say, oh, I want a super teal look, right? And then I want this kind of really surrealist vibe to it. I'm not saying you have to go that far, but I'm saying that if you really want to try to experiment with some things here in camera calibration, you totally can do that. So as you can see, using the camera calibration panel is a great way to explore with color to start finding your own look. And that is what photo editing is all about for me. Creating your own signature, unique look. So when someone looks at your photos, they say, I know who took that. And the person who I think is amazing at this is Brandon Woeful. I think you just know instantly when you see his photos because his use of color and his style is just like quintessential. It is so good. And I'm bringing this up because he just launched a course on Skillshare called Instagram Worthy Photography. Now, Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes in photography, editing, videography, creative business, anything you could want to learn about, they have a class on it. But my favorite one right now is that one by Brandon Woeful because you really get inside his head. He talks about settings, gear, how he thinks about his photos, what he does when he's on a shoot, and especially how he edits them. And his editing style is so different from mine, like completely different. So I'm sitting there watching this thing like, what? Like, oh my God, you're spilling all your secrets, man. Like I know everything now. And I love it. And it like just gets me excited and inspired. So if you guys want to have that feeling and you want to learn something new, click the link in the description below. You're going to get 2 free months of the premium membership and you'll get to explore your creativity. Once again, that is 2 free months of the premium membership. It is worth it alone just for Brandon's course. So definitely click that link and try it out. Now, if you guys like this video, give it a like, leave a comment, tell me how your life's going, what's new and all that kind of stuff. Subscribe if you want to, and I will see you guys next week. Peace out.